Over the years, Herpa has released many Airbus A380 aircraft models, but especially models with the Lufthansa livery have been covered extensively, and yet I have only reviewed a very few of them, so today we will take a look at one of those we missed. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review where we, as mentioned, will take a closer look at an Airbus A380-800 of Lufthansa. At the front of the box we have a lovely image of the aircraft in real life. We have the Lufthansa.com branding alongside also the A380B part of it branding, which Lufthansa used as part of a marketing scheme introducing the aircraft type in their fleet. And then of course we also have the Lufthansa branding itself. Then on the back side of the box we find another lovely image of the aircraft in real life. We are provided with the original dimensions and some additional information. So that's it for the box. Let's take a closer look inside and at the aircraft model itself. And here she is, the Airbus A380-800 in the now old standard livery of Lufthansa. Now, Lufthansa Airbus A380 aircraft models have been heavily featured by Herpa Wings in scale 500. In fact, they have made 19 of those. However, 9 times the aircraft has been carrying the registration code DAIMA. This aircraft model, however, has the registration code DAIMD and has only been made once in the production year 2011-2012. The aircraft in real life this model has been based upon has, however, been stored since 2020. Now, let's focus on the aircraft model itself and start our tour around the aircraft model with a look at the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer find the now old Lufthansa branding, and on top of the stabilizer we find the last 2 letters of the registration code. On the fuselage we then find the full registration code alongside the Lufthansa.com branding and the German flag. Towards the very tail of the aircraft we then also find a bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we then find the writing of Lufthansa. Underneath that we have the aircraft type specification and the name of the aircraft, and in this case the aircraft is named after the Japanese city of Tokyo. We also have a Star Alliance logo, of which Lufthansa is a founding member, and underneath the cockpit windows the Lufthansa branding once more. So far really just the most basic details related to the livery, nothing really aircraft type specific. And this is the same story for the cockpit section, where we simply have the cockpit windows and the window wipers, just the most basic details Herpa could get away with and nothing more. And it is unfortunately also not much of a different story with the engine nacelles. They have been kept in the same grey color as we find on the belly of the aircraft, but do have the silver leading edge printed on, at least that. The physical detailing on the engines is, however, in my opinion, more convincing, especially here from the front. Very nice, you can see the engine fan blades. The wings we should also take a closer look at, even though also here we won't find many printed details, in fact none. But we do have the flap slats and spoilers carved out very nicely here on the top side, and also the underside offers us some nice physical detailing. And since we are talking physical detailing, we should also not forget to mention the wingtip fences, which I think Herpa has also executed rather well here on the A380. And then we can move on to the landing gear. That is the standard landing gear that Herpa uses for all their Airbus A3 aircraft models. And overall I think it looks pretty alright. It is fairly decently detailed. A huge surprise can however be found at the front landing gear, where we actually have a printed detail in form of the last 2 letters of the registration code. And then last but certainly not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here at the back of the aircraft and also here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Airbus A380-800 in the former standard livery of Lufthansa from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? I mean, it is painfully deprived of any relevant printed details when it comes to the aircraft type itself and not just the livery. But at least the print quality is actually pretty good. I mean, the details Herpa has added, they have done so excellently. And I mean, they are actually making a pretty nice A380 here. The mold itself is quite good and the physical detailing of the model is actually also really good. So considering that this was the standard back in the day in 2011-2012 when this model was made, it's actually not a bad model. But of course, more recently released A380s from Herpa Wings blow this out of the sky. So for who might this aircraft model be of interest today? I mean, first of all, if you are a completionist and are just missing this aircraft model in your Lufthansa A380 fleet, or if you have a special relationship to this aircraft model with this specific registration code. But other than that, honestly speaking, I would save my money and buy a more recent A380 because they are just better. The good news is, of course, that Lufthansa is bringing the A380 back, although some have been sold, but according to airfleets.net, as I mentioned, this aircraft is still stored, so there's a chance that it actually might return into active service at some point. And then it could also perhaps be an interesting model to have in your collection. In any case, with that, we have reached the end of today's episode, and if you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, and of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? With that, thank you so much for watching, hope to see you soon again, I'm checking out, and bye.